Welcome to ETBFSI.com by the Economic Times. Today we're joined by Mr. Hardeep Singh Ahluwalia, MD and CEO designate at Canara Bank. Thank you so very much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, madam.
So I'll begin with my first question and talk about net interest margin. It's sort of seeing a declining trend, also below what Canara Bank has been guiding on the NIM front. Help us understand how are you going to sort of tackle going forward, and how are you planning to deal with the declining NIM trends and ending the year with?
Madam, if you see, it started with last February that NIM cuts announced by RBI,
Yes.
and 4 cuts has happened affecting 125 basis point. My 49% of the loan book is repo-linked, which has an immediate effect on repricing. That price I have to pass it on to my customer. So that is why we see that yield on advances has dropped in this financial year by 45 basis point. But for the deposit side, it takes some time for repricing. So my cost of deposit in this financial year has gone only 8 basis point. So, but going ahead, only 17% of the term deposit is left for repricing. So if there is no rate cut, I think the NIM will be at this level. But to counter that, we are aggressively going for retail credit where margins are more. If you see, my advances growth is 13.59%. And within that, the RAM credit is growing at 18.70%. And MSME is growing at 13.74%. If you see the MSME credit, the yields are at 9.38%. And RAM overall is 8.88%. So we are countering that with improving my RAM credit growth.
So what would be your guidance for Q4 FY26 NIM and going forward? What do you think you're going to end the year with?
Yeah, NIM, I think going ahead will be in the range from 2.45 to 2.50.
So you're hesitant of another, basis points of decline in the net interest margin is what I gather.
Because some repricing is yet to be done, but we are countering that with aggressive credit growth, particularly on RAM credit.
Noted, Mr. Ahluwalia, you've mentioned you're going towards retail credit more because there's more margin over there. When I see the composition for Canara Bank between RAM and corporate, it's 59% RAM, 41% corporate. Do you think this composition is going to change in the month or fiscal to come?
We have targeted actually 60-40, so 60% retail and 40 corporate. So last year, if you see that composition was 57-43. Now in this, it is 59-41. But going ahead, our endeavor is to 60-40 it has.
Noted. And if you could also help us understand the group of RAM credit, secured, unsecured.
See, I don't have much unsecured portfolio as such. It is only 15,000 out of the book of 11.92. Other portfolios are secured, but among that also, within that also, it is the salaried people who has taken those loans. So although classified as unsecured, but it is secured by salaries.
Noted your points on how is deposit mobilization going to look for Canara Bank? What's your strategy?
Canara Bank, if you see, my deposits are growing at a very decent pace of 12.95%. Within that, the CASA is also growing at 9.32%. Within CASA also, if you see, my savings is growing at 8.51 and current is growing at 14.92%. And saving bank individual is growing at 10.52%. What we have done, we have taken a couple of measures to improve CASA position. And that is why I think we could manage at 30% level. CASA traditionally was a bit low in Canara Bank, but we could sustain that level because we have rolled out number of products under saving bank to attract new customers. That is under salary premium payroll accounts. And for women's, we have rolled out Angel covering breast cancer treatment up to 5 lakhs. Then for students, we have rolled out Canara Aspire so that students enrolling for Canara Aspire can enroll for Coursera courses. Then we have gone for Jeevan Dhara for pensioners. So Canara Delight accounts for current. Then for institutions, we have come up with True Edge products. For gig workers also, we have rolled out Canara Gig Stars. For high net worth individual, we have Canara Crest. All these products are industry unique, having additional advantages like term life insurance, accident insurance, your launch facilities. So they have additional facilities to attract new customers, and that is why our CASA is at stagnant levels of 30%.
All right. So are you confident about surpassing the guidance given by Canada, which is 32%, if I'm not wrong?
32% at this juncture will be a challenge, but our endeavor will be to at least bring it to 31%. Because you also have to factor in my deposit growth. My deposit growth is already 12.95%. So
Yes.
within that, you have to improve multiple times on CASA. That will be some challenge, but I think our endeavor will be to end up at 31% realistic.
Sure. Also, if we talk about the labor code implementation, did that have any impact on Canara Bank in terms of operating expenses?
The new labor code states that 50% of the annulments has to be in the form of basic and TA. And some health benefit issues. Actually, all the public sector bank have a industry practice of settlements, the IBA guided settlement. So already it is implemented in our bank. So it does not have any material impact. It has its own impact where outsourced activity, outsourced numbers are more. In our banks, it is not the case. Permanent employees are more. So I don't see any challenges of implementation of labor code.
Noted your points on that. Again, I would like to talk about RAM once again. When you say you want to move towards 60 because it's helping you with better margins, um, what is going to be, the strategy in terms of disbursing more in retail? Also, I'll add on the GST rate rationalization here. Did you see a meaningful pickup? Do you see the consumption story for India intact enough? And especially, after the September quarter, December was the full quarter when you see consumers
Yes.
taking the benefit of GST rationalization. Did that reflect in your books at all?
Yes, definitely. If you see my vehicle loan, it has grown by 29%. So it
Okay.
did help us. 26.20 precisely, it has gone year on year from
Okay.
19,888 to 25,098. So it has its own effect. These are all boosters to the economy.
Sure. If I am to speak of the branch expansion by Canara Bank, the current number stands at 10,066. So what is your FY26 target? And, while a lot of operations have transformed towards digital, how important is branch expansion for you today? Which are the areas you're targeting? Which branches are the ones that get you the most business? More color on, branch expansion strategy, just how you want to end FY26, and what areas are you looking to expand to? How aggressive are you on it, given operations have turned digital? And finally, which are the branches that get you the most business?
See, in this financial year, we had a target of 250 branches opening.
Okay.
And up to December, we have already opened 231 branches. Now, coming to the strategy for opening the branches, we look at the potential centers which are growing faster, which are not, still opportunities are plenty, but physical presence is not there. We are using geospatial technique to identify these locations, and we are consciously opening at these centers. That is yielding us a very good result. So that is the expansion strategy. Going ahead also, in the next financial year, we will adopt similar strategy.
What geographies that you're looking at?
Geographies can be anything. It has to be a potential center which can basically give us CASA boost, And on advances side, a lot of retail customers can be roped in.
I am to speak to you about the regions. Are those metro cities or are those semi-urban, rural? Because, we've seen this trend of, um, for a lot of banks, most business is coming not from metro cities, the CASA, if I am to speak of, that comes from areas that are, far-flung. So, trying to get some sense on where is business coming for Canara Bank, not business particularly, but the deposits, the CASA.
I have just shared with you that we are using geospatial techniques. That gives us the idea of potential centers, particularly targeting CASA, which are the
Hmm.
potential areas where these branches can be opened up. This has been our strategy, and we have been quite successful in that strategy. So
Hmm.
231 branches we have opened in the up to 9 months. Our target was 250, and that we are going to achieve in this financial year.
We're in the middle of the last quarter of FY26. We'll soon be entering FY27. Do you think Canada Bank will need any sort of recalibration of the growth strategy? Will you stay put? What's the whole idea in terms of growth strategy ahead? What are you focused on and way forward?
Higher GDP rates and achievements definitely has a direct impact on bank credit growth. That is exactly what we are seeing. Our credit growth at 13.59%. So if it is improved, it will have a direct material impact on the bank growth.
And the textile, I know this is too micro of a question to ask, but when I was looking at your, credit, the textile credit has sort of seen quarter on quarter decline. Is it the tariff impact?
No, no, no. It is because of the decrease in exposure in one single account. If you see, it
Okay,
is very, very marginal. It has come down from 19,224 to 19,170. So it is not like that.
got
Marginally, it has come down. Yeah.
it. Understood. And since I was, we look at PSL targets for PSUs, they're of course higher than other lenders. And, that will include MSMEs also. Um, with the tariff into picture, do you ever see any sort of impact towards MSME credit, or is it just like any other quarter?
So Canara Bank has that advantage of offloading PSLC because we exceed mandated norms on priority sector credit. So
Yes.
already against the 40% norm, we are at 45.25%. That gives us the added advantage to offload PSLCs. So that's an additional advantage. If you see in the previous quarter, actually these transactions happen in the first quarter. So around 900 crores PSLCs, 12,000, 1,248 crores, we could get benefit in the June quarter and 918 crores in the Q2. So if the surplus is there, immediately we capitalize on that surplus.
Okay. Sure. If I am to speak of fee-based income, so what are your targets on that? How do you want to go about your fee income strategy?
Yeah, fee income strategy, if you compare year on year, it is growing at 6.50%.
Hmm.
So it's growing. We are closely monitoring that situation that it should grow at a healthy pace.
Okay. All right. In my last interactions with the Canara Bank MD and CEO, they had spoken about credit card issuance reaching 15 lakh as you end FY26. When I see the presentation, it is at 10 lakhs. So, do you think this quarter will be enough to reach 15 lakhs for you?
So it is challenging, but we have a dedicated credit card vertical who is pushing that,
Yes.
and we have our RRBs. Now we have got the approval, so they will be going in a big way for onboarding those customers of where co-branding of the credit card will take place. So that's a huge market. So we expect good growth in credit card going ahead.
All right, sure. Uh, So, if I am to bring in another very important topic, we see bank unions going on strike for the 5-day work week. I will not ask you when will it happen because it is in the hands of the government. My question to you is, do you think PSUs are equipped enough to let go another, let go another day off for the employees at the branch level? Do you think work will be managed at the branch level?
Yeah, see, we see already lot of transactions now take place on digital platform. So
Hmm.
majority transactions they take place on digital platforms. Then we have ATMs in place. We have BCs also. So already that structure is there, but it is a call of the government to take.
Sure. And so, what's your view on PSU bank mergers? Do you think that's the way to go?
I cannot comment on that. It's a government's decision.
Moving towards the final questions. When we look at the top 100 global banks, there are two currently from India. There's aspiration from the government, from the Reserve Bank, that more and more Indian lenders make it to the list of top 100 global banks. uh, what is aspiration at Canara Bank? What are your long-term targets in terms of growing business? If you can help us understand.
Canara Bank has a strong presence and it's growing at a very healthy rate, both in deposits and advances. It's a government's call on mergers. But on mergers, the objective is to go for capital intensive projects so the entity becomes more adequately equipped to go for high ticket advances.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. Those were all the questions from me. Thank you for patiently helping us
Thank you, madam.
understand.
Pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching ETBFSI.